Okay, so we're doing making the occupied bed today. So this is basically what's going to be expected of you for your test. First, we're going to name the sheets. This one is your flat sheet. It has squared off edges. It folds nice and neat. It is large. It's a large rectangular shape that goes on top of the bed. This one is your Macintosh. So we have picked Macintosh, which means that this is the actual material that's called a Macintosh, which is like a raincoat material. It's water resistant. So if you put water on this side, it's going to pool and run off. And on this side, the quilted side, it's the patient side. So your patient side is made of cotton and it's going to absorb the material, the water or any fluid that falls on it. Next, you have your fitting sheet. The fitting sheets from the university are a little bit different from those that you might find home because the ones you have home has a seam in each corner. Now, these ones have a seam that ends in each corner, but it meets in the middle. So you're looking for the end of the seam on each side in order to fit on the patient's bed. Your fitted sheet has an elastic rounded edges. In some cases, you might find fitted sheets that don't have elastic edges, and that's fine, but you will still see fitted sheet having that corner that is necessary. This one is your draw sheet. Your draw sheet is a smaller rectangular shape, and it is actually a tool that we use to move the patient. So this is the full size of your draw sheet right here. So your draw sheet is going to be your multifunctional tool that you're going to put on your bed. And finally, you have your pillow slip. Your pillow slip is a little bag that you're going to put your pillow in. Now, we normally put the pillow on last, so I'm going to put that there because that's the last thing I'm going to put on. Before that, I am going to put on my flat sheet. So I put my flat sheet there. The next layer I expect to use is my draw sheet, followed by my Macintosh, and then against the bed, my fitted sheet. Notice the way I stack them. I stack them so that they're very convenient for me to just grab the one that I need next. All right? Anything that's kept on the lower shelf of your trolley is considered dirty. So don't keep your clean materials on the bottom shelf. Always carbolize before you use your trolley. Carbolizing means wiping it down with either alcohol or some kind of antiseptic solution. So now, this is what we're expecting from you for your skill. Hi, my name is Mrs. Steele. We're here today to change your bed. I understand that you're unable to come out the bed, so I'm going to spread the bed with you in it. What I'm going to do is to make sure that you're safe and roll you from side to side. In order to do this, I need to ensure that I have the bed rails up wherever I am not present. So because I'm going to start on that side, I'm going to have my bed rails up on this side. So I'm going to unhook the end of the sheets. Just give me a moment here. Let me just get this unhooked. Let me know if I hurt your legs when I come by here. Good. So I'll put these in between. I'll put this in between your legs just so that it provides you a little bit of privacy, because I'm going to need to have access to your legs. So I just have to unhook the sheet everywhere. Good. So now I have you all set up and I'm going to get started. First thing I'm going to do is to strip this side of the bed. I understand that you're still on it. It's okay. I'm going to work around you. I take as much as possible and I tuck it in toward the patient, trying not to include the gown. Please be aware that you should be gloved to change a bed that already has a patient on it. You never want to come in contact with your bare hand with the patient. Now, I'm going to start to spread the bed. Yes, just like that, with the patient on. Remember, we talked about these sheets having the seams meet in the middle. My hip against the bed, I'm grabbing, putting that seam on that corner, and then folding it over. When I go to the foot of the bed, I'm going to do the opposite movement because now it's this hip against the bed. this hand is going to hit the seam and picking up the bed and going there. So now I've already started, and I'm going to fan fold the sheet so that I can get it slightly nearer to the patient. Now, because I don't expect the patient to be flipping, flopping, I am going to start to spread the bed with all my equipment. Now, if you notice the width of this in relation to the width of the bed, it really doesn't matter where we started. But when you have a smaller Macintosh, you're going to have to establish where you're going to start that spread. Because if your Macintosh is only this big, you need it in there, so you're going to not start your Macintosh from here. So we put the Macintosh near as well, fan folded. You get your draw sheet. Remember him? No, your sheets have two sides, the seam side and the stitch side. The seam side is rough because this is where the material is folded and sewn on. And this is your stitch side. The stitch side is the patient side because we consider anything that is even slightly crinkly to be having possibility to cause skin breakdown. So now that we've quite improperly folded that just to show you what's happening there, we're also going to fan fold this. Please remember that Victorian era is not where we're at. Okay? So you fan fold it. You're giving yourself a little bit of room on the side here so that you can tuck that under. So now we've already gotten this side spread. Okay, Mr. Noti, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cross your legs. Okay, let me know if you're uncomfortable when I do this. So now I'm crossing this leg over that way because I expect him to roll. I'm also making sure that his hands are safe because I'm going to roll him over. I give myself a little bit of sheet so that when I roll him, his bum doesn't get exposed. And now I hold him by his shoulder and hips, body mechanics, shoulder width apart, and all right, here we go. We're going to roll. If you want, you can hold on to the bed rail, okay? So he rolls over. Keep in mind, while Mr. No Head is rolled over, Mr. No Head can't breathe properly. So
you have to be fast.
Quick about this, okay? All this stuff that is fan folded is nicely tucked over. And now Mr. No Head can come back. All right, you good there, Papa? The mattress is a little bit wider than the bed, so some brute force is required. So now that he's okay on that side, I'm going to have him do the same thing on the other side. I'm rolling him over. Because now the material is thick under him, so I have to be rather quick about this as well. Crossing him over. Now look at what your hand, Papa. So we'll put this one down and this one across, shoulder width apart, and bed rails, bad body mechanics. And now roll. Now I have to quickly pull all this stuff out. And once I quickly pull all this stuff out, as long as this is out, I am free to let Mr. No Feet go back down. So now the bed is basically already spread. All I have to do is to make it neat. Please make sure that your patient phone or any kind of remotes or stuff like that has been removed from the bed before you start, because you're just rolling your dirty linens inward. Anything that's solid material that might be in here stays in here. Now this goes onto your bottom shelf because that's normally where you're going to put your soiled material. Again, hip and pull. Same thing here. Hip and pull. You pull over your Macintosh, you pull over your draw sheet. Ensure that it is straight so that it doesn't cause any disturbance against the patient. Usually when you have a patient that's a bit heavier, you have to do more lifting. Again, notice the stance for the body mechanics. So your draw sheet goes anywhere between the patient's armpit and mid-thigh, ideally. If you have a draw sheet that's a little bit shorter, you try to make sure that in between this area is where you're going to have that draw sheet done, because that's the draw sheet that you're going to use to pick up and bring the patient up. Notice the body mechanics. you're picking it up to move the patient off his bed. Now when you're finished, you tuck, and now I can come with my flat sheet. Now remember, large rectangular shaped sheet, we're looking at the patient side that we're going to ensure is against the patient. You unfold everything without fluffing it. Right. Watch your hand, Papa. So I have to roll it just a little bit because I have you on the sheet. All right, there we go. We got it. And if you notice, at no point did I expose the patient while I had him being changed. So now I will go along. My hip is against there, reaching through, folding this over, making sure that it's hung loose. I'm straightening the other side because I want to do this side, and then I'm going back over there to the top sheet. Now, at this point, this might be something that you're doing for an unconscious patient, and if you do so, you see how the sheet pulls against his toe here, you would have to do what's called a toe tuck. So first, we'll go over there to do the mitering. So I'll just miter this side, and I'll do the toe tuck. We'll record the mitering over there. You hold like on 6-inch piece, and you fold it back. That is the toe tuck that gives your patient room for their toe so that it doesn't pull on the toe when they are laying in the bed. If you notice, I'm spreading the bed coming upward. I'm not going up and down, up and down, up and down. Please be sure to watch the video on how to handle the bed so that you can get these snaps work properly. All right. To miter your corner, you're going about 6 to 9 inches. Make sure all of these pleats are out from the sheet. You're going about 6 to 9 inches from the bottom of the bed. But please remember, you don't want to be at the tail of the bed with this hand. You still have to come in line. You're making a straight line here by folding it over, and that creates you a triangle. So we're going to make that triangle neat. Now that I have a straight triangle there and the line underneath is straight, I'm going to tuck the piece that's on the floor, toward the floor. Now I just fold it down, and I still have that straight line and the triangle there. That's my mitering. Of course, I'm going to match the toe tuck on that side. It's a little bit more complicated when you have a patient in there to match the toe tuck, but you can do the best you can. All right, sir, I'm going to need to lift your head to get the pillow. Here you go. And now, again, we're going to remove the pillow slowly and put that on your second shelf. Now for your pillow slip, I usually sock it up so that it's easier. You know how you roll up your socks to put it on? I sock it up, fold the tail of the pillow in half, stick it in, make sure the corners match, and then start to slide the slip down. This pillow is about 6 inches larger than the pillow slip. So we'll have to excuse the ends that hang out here. Please, do not let me see you do this. Okay? You slide it on and you stick your pillow in and adjust it as many times as you need to. The opening for your pillow is faced away from the door. So your opening for your pillow is going to go under your patient's head in that manner. Okay? Always make sure you ensure safety and end your skill with your patient's bed rails up. And that is the completion of what's expected from your making the occupied bed for the patient.